Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Dorothy here, Professional Astrologer. You find me right here, nhastrologer.com. All my contact info and any references I make are in the content below this video. All right, good. So I know I got behind a week or so ago and I haven't been able to catch up. So I just sort of thought I'd wait. And so what I'm going to do today is talk about the things that I want to focus on between now, which is the week. We're in the week of November 16th, but all the way until the 29th. So almost 2 weeks worth of information, about a week and a half, but it's eclipse prep. All right. This is things that we could be focusing on because we're building to another eclipse. We have one on November 30th and December 14th. So so keep that in mind with everything that I'm telling you. And I will do another forecast for that eclipse in about 4 or 5 days. Today is November 18th on the time I'm recording this. So let's get started. So this week, we've had plenty of things to go on. The written forecast is on my website. You can read all about the week of November 16th to the 23rd. I just didn't create a fresh video for that one. But what do we want to focus on? Today, it being the 18th, Moon is coming to make its connection to all the Capricorn planets throughout the day. So this is where we're feeling responsible. This is where I'm feeling responsible. I finally get my you-know-what together so I can get another video out there, hopefully get back into my weekly routine. Things just throw us off. I am no different than the rest of you. I can read what's going on in my chart, and even with the best intentions, there are times when I still can't do what I think I want to be doing, right? So this is what some of the things that we need to be doing. We need to be honoring ourselves, and we need to be honoring where we're at, no matter what anybody else thinks, especially no matter what you think, because, no need to judge yourself. We're in stressful times for the most part, and, come back into your own lane. I like it when people drive in their own lane, especially when I'm out and about. So do that emotionally too. Get back in your own lane, get back in your group of people that, believe what you believe, that are on the same page as you, that will help make things so much less stressful. That's just, my observation. Now, what's going on with the astrology, like I've mentioned, today, which is Wednesday, November 18th, that moon in Capricorn, connecting throughout the day to all the Capricorn planets, the Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto. And so that just means that, get into, focus on what your work is and what you want to accomplish, what makes you feel safe and secure, and that type of backdrop. So work on that for yourself, because that is how we're going to work for the rest of the day and all the way through, because they officially, depends on where you live in the world, but here in New England, the official conjunction of these planets doesn't happen until the middle of the night tonight, Wednesday night, Thursday morning here on the East Coast, and really late at night on the West Coast of the US. So on the 19th. For the rest of the world. So focus on those things, and just, when you're feeling that nudge to get back into reality, that's what it represents, and that's what's going on with that. All right, so what's next? I got my notes. I wrote them out on my whiteboard. Here's my notes. There's so much going on. And if you want to do them, I keep hitting my desk. If you want to join me tonight, the month ahead, you can connect through my website. I do that once a month. So I want to focus next on Saturday, the 21st, because we have a couple things happening. Venus leaves her own sign, her ruling sign of Libra, and enters Scorpio. And then we also have the sun at the very last degree of Scorpio and is moving into Sag. So Sagittarius. Sag is so playful and fun, even though it's the longest with letters. We always shorten it. I don't mind. Sag doesn't care either. So when does the Venus enter Scorpio? 8:22 a.m. Eastern time zone. So let's talk about that first. With Venus in the sign of Scorpio, Venus represents a few different things. Now, since for the last 3 weeks she's been in Libra, that means relationships, and not just your love relationship or your spouse or your partner, the important relationships. Right? We really need to make sure we're nurturing those, especially since we're not able to be as social as, humans want to be. So now that Venus is in that sign of Scorpio, we have this opportunity to take it to another level, to go deeper, right? To really focus in on what it is that we want and how we want to either change something within the dynamic of the relationship, take things to a deeper, more intimate level, and just to get into a deeper understanding of you and your partner, or partnerships, even these are even business partnerships. What does that look like for you? All right. So for the next 3 weeks, while Venus moves through the sign of Scorpio, we have that opportunity. And usually that first entrance, that ingress into a new sign, is usually significant for a few days, because we're just getting used to the new energies. It's just like a change of season, or putting on different clothes. We got to get used to, what's going on, right? So give yourself that opportunity over the next few weeks. There's a lot of Scorpio energy present. Mercury's in Scorpio as well. So there's a lot of deep focus. And again, remember, this is all eclipse prep. So, and I'm going to talk more about Mercury and Scorpio in just a minute. So we also have the sun entering the sign of Sagittarius. And here again on the East Coast, it's at 3:40 p.m. And so the sun in Sag, usually this time of year, we're getting ready to have lots of, obviously, family gatherings. The holidays are coming. It's an exciting time when we're ready to prep, right? And play and gather and have a lot of fun. So we're going to need to figure out how to do that within the boundaries and the guidelines that we have going on, or not, whatever you choose to do. But we're feeling that that's necessary. We're feeling the need to really, we always feel the need this time of year to gather with others and play and have fun. That's Sagittarius energy. So if we can't physically do it, and some people can still travel the world, but for the most part, many are not. And so we're going to need to find a way to accomplish that. And Sagittarius loves information, very philosophical, loves the truth, speaks the truth. We need to be careful about that so we don't overdo it and injure and interfere with the relationships that are really important to us. But find a way. It's very optimistic and it's very hopeful. And I know there's a lot of bleak news out there right now, but again, put yourself into I've heard this on a radio show recently, quarantines. They call it quarantines. And it's just, find your team, find the people, and really stay engaged with them and just enjoy life that way. And again, or not, it's your call. So, but the Sagittarius energy over the next month does give us opportunities to really to see where we can find that piece of optimism, to see how we can reconnect with people or other countries. I know I don't ever connect with well, I do connect with other countries here, don't I? So what do I think about that? We'll see. And I kind of like that. So on a personal level, we're not going to talk governments here, but on a personal level, is there an opportunity for you to reach out to a group of people? It's all going to be virtual right now for the most part, to a new group of people, to, explore and to expand your horizons. That's what that Sagittarius energy is all about. We have the eclipses. We have the full moon eclipses in Gemini on November 30th, and the new moon eclipse on December 14th is in Sagittarius. I'll talk about that more as we get closer to it. But this is, has a lot to do with how we are trying to expand our connections with others at this point in time. And I know it's very difficult. And by the time we get to the end of the year, Saturn and Jupiter rules Sagittarius, will both be in the sign of Aquarius. And that represents, breaking free from the restrictions and boundaries. Saturn Aquarius represents a lot of restrictions and boundaries. So we have a lot of dynamic energy present. Moving forward, I mean, we all know that November's been a rough month, and, it continues that way. But again, if you can stay in your own lane and in your own groups of people, then you can have a lot of normalcy in that regard. All right. That's really what we need to do more than anything. I think one of the most important things that we need to do with this Sagittarius energy and current states is that we need to make sure and be careful about how outspoken we are. It's okay to be outspoken, especially if you need to speak up. I understand that completely. We just don't want to hurt other people's feelings without realizing it. So be aware of that. All right. Now, I say that too, because I mean, that's Sag. They're always going to put, a lot of the time they'll say the truth and put their foot in their mouth and just go, oh, oops. Oh, well, it's the truth. And that, I know plenty of Sages. They're like that, unless they have Jupiter in Libra. And then they're going to be about making sure they don't hurt anybody's feelings, accidentally or not. Now, moving on to the 22nd, and the reason I want to move on is because the Mercury, right, is in Scorpio, and throughout the next few days is making, the rest of the week is making hard aspects, easy aspects. So let's work with that, right? Let's work with that as we're coming to this full moon eclipse on the 30th in the sign of Gemini. Mercury is the ruler of Gemini, even though he is not in that sign right now. He can't be. He's right next to the sun. He has to be near the sun. So on November 22nd, Mercury in Scorpio makes the quincunx to Mars in Aries. Now, what this shows is there are a lot of ideas running through our heads on how we want to do this, that, and the other thing. And again, the details will depend on what's going on for you. I always have a ton of projects that I want to do, but I can't settle down. I've got a few things that have been on my list for years, and I'm like, oh, I'll start to do it and I'll work on it for just, a day or two. And then it just gets put to the back burner again. It's like, this is just some of the things that we're all going through right now, but especially the 22nd, coming up to November 22nd, when Mercury in Scorpio is once with Mars, right, in a hard aspect. This quincunx is about all kinds of thoughts and ideas and projects, and I want to go deeper to this and I want to do that, and we just can't get it started. So the way you can use this difficult energy, the next day we have an easy one, I'll talk about that in a sec, but the way we can use this energy that feels very unsure is to focus on the details. The angle of this quincunx is to Virgo. So that just means that if we can stop, pay attention to one detail at a time. Yeah, list it, make a list. All the Virgos out there shaking their head. It's like, yeah, I always do that. Good for you. Not all of us are like that. Make a list and don't do the next thing until you check it off. All right. This is how we can use this Mercury in Scorpio, quincunx, Mars in Aries. And again, that peaks on November 22nd. But then again, on the 23rd, Mercury is applying, on the 22nd to the 23rd, is applying a trine aspect to Neptune. And the trine aspect to Neptune is about, ideas and thoughts flowing, but they're coming from very deep within. Mercury in Scorpio is very deep, right? Emotional, it's emotional connections and how we really want to communicate that out to the world, but also those thoughts and those ideas, making that aspect, that easy, watery aspect to Neptune. So if you're getting overwhelmed, do the details like I already said, but then you can't overdo that either. You need to take that time, find your place, whether it's walking. I love walking the ocean. If you guys follow me on Facebook, you see my ocean pictures all the time, or out in the woods, unplugged. Don't walk with headsets on. Listen to nature and quiet your mind, or meditate or chant or sing, go swimming. Some people even sleep, which is their way of unplugging. So you're going to want to find equal amounts of those things, paying attention to the details, especially if you have a million balls in the air, but also getting that time to unplug. Mercury trine Neptune. So that is important. Now, moving on to the 25th. So that's like the day before Thanksgiving, right? It sure is. Here we are. Once a month for the last 6 months, the moon has been making its conjunction to Mars in Aries. But this time we're really close to an eclipse. The moon is about to be eclipsed. And, we are in the first quarter lunar phase when the moon does this. So this feels very dynamic and it's incredibly fiery. And what we want to do on a day, so this is Wednesday, the 25th. It's in the evening. Here in the East Coast of the US. So we need to be cautious of this one, because we can, with the sun in Sag already encouraging all of this, we definitely could be speaking out of turn or speaking up more than we should. I mean, I know, I'm not saying you have to hold back, but you don't have to come at everything with both barrels either, because that can be very stressful for you. It can create arguments and a lot of heated anger. Now, if you're somebody who has been holding back and holding back and holding back, this aspect might be something that just triggers it all. And it's like the final straw, if you will, and things just start to come out, and you finally are able to, after holding back for so long, speak up. Again, the reason I'm saying two very different things here is because each of us are different. We all have our own ways and personalities, and there is no way for me to know what your specific situation is unless I'm looking at your chart and we're having a conversation about what's going on in your life. So that's why you'll always hear lots of different options from lots of different astrologers. So always listen to the people that you resonate with, not just one, because everybody's going to tell you a little bit something different. And if something doesn't resonate with you, then don't. I've listened to other astrologers and I don't resonate with some people, and I love others. So, just do that for yourself too. So watch that moon in Aries conjunct Mars in Aries. Again, that's Wednesday evening. Yeah, that's Thanksgiving Eve. So another thing this can do for a lot of us here in the United States that celebrate Thanksgiving is just gives us an opportunity we have a lot of energy to get the things done that we want to get done. So that's pretty doggone cool. So yeah, I was going to share my screen on a few of these, but want to see the screen? Let's see. What chart do I have up? Here is the moon conjunct Mars. Let me make sure I have that up. Yes, I do. There's the moon conjunct Mars for us here in my latitude and longitude. There it is. Yeah, and it makes this connection to the lunar south node and north node, which is where the eclipse will be near the nodes. They're always near the nodes. Not if they're really major total eclipses, they right with the nodes, but these are partial eclipses. So there's that. All right, just so you could see it. All right, what do I want to move on to? Let's see. Yeah, those are pretty big ones. But what's next? Let me look at my notes. Hold on. 27th. I want to talk about the 27th. What else is going on the 27th? Another easy aspect. I told you there was a lot of Scorpio stuff, even though the sun is in Sagittarius. Mercury is in Scorpio. Venus is there. I already talked about her. And she's going to be opposite Uranus on the Friday, the 27th. And Mercury, still in Scorpio, is making a sextile to Pluto in Capricorn. So Friday, the 27th is pretty doggone nice. I guess that's Black Friday. Oh, good luck shopping. I don't know how that's going to happen this year. But what this does is do your research, right? This Mercury is applying throughout the day. So Thursday, if you have time and you're a shopper, do some research. Because Mercury in Scorpio sextile Pluto rules Scorpio, right? It's just feminine, it's receptive. It just means it's a great opportunity to do some research. So even if this has nothing to do with shopping, this could have to do with the projects we talked about earlier, and gives you an opportunity to do that. I have something I need a certain material for a project that I'm creating. And so I've just messaged a friend and I said, because she does some prints and different things like that. And I'm like, how do you do this? What printer do you use? What paper do you use? And so in that way, there's going to be some research. So I'll be connecting with her a little bit more over the next week about that, so I can get all the information that's necessary for that little project that I'm working on. Just holiday cards, right? But I want it to look great. So it's things like that. I know that seems like super simple considering the state of the world that we're in, but this is how we use aspects in a very personal fashion, a very personal way. All right. So what else? Throughout the week, again, we're just days away from the eclipse on November 30th. And again, I'm going to do another video for that one and focus on that. Venus in Scorpio will be opposite Uranus in Taurus at noontime, just after noontime on Friday, the 27th. And boy, that has a lot to say about our finances, the state of the financial world. Focus in, it's been going on all week. I'll focus in on this more so on my Patreon group. That link here on YouTube is below. I have 4 different tiers where you can interact with me live 5 to 6 times a month. I do live broadcasts that you can join in on. So come check that out. You can find it here, or you can find it in the links below. So paying attention to your finances and refinancing. And again, I'm going to talk about that more in the Patreon group. Neptune goes direct on Saturday, the 27th. That's just a nice slow mover. So if you're feeling a little lost on that day or a little ungrounded, it could be that. And I think that is it for now. I'm going to leave you with that right now because I want to get to write this forecast so you'll be able to read it on the website. And please comment, like, share, and don't forget to join, subscribe. Thank you guys very much. Blessings. Blessings. Be safe. Namaste.